home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the 2004 Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. And right outside the St. Pete Times Forum, we have welcomed the greatest beach volleyball players on the planet to the beach and championship court, as this is the AVP Croc Store Tampa Open presented by Insurance. The women's final, and it is number 1 against number 3. Misty May trainer Carrie Walsh against the familiar tandem of Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. Should be absolutely spectacular, just like our official introductions that come to you from Chris McGee.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the greatest show in all the planet. And I gotta ask you this one question. Tampa Bay, Florida, are you ready? 'Cause here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They meet again, number 1 and number 2. Earlier this year in Miami, Florida, she collected her first ever open victory out of the University of Minnesota, the most improved player on the AVP Croc Store. Give it up for Nicole Branagh. And a partner, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call her MD for most dominant at a UCLA, the 4-time All-American, the 2-time Olympian, the bronze medalist, the 2002 MVP of the AVP, 36 times a winner, E to the Y, Elaine Youngs. Other side of the net, ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist, United States of America, the number 1 team in all the land. Archbishop Mini High School in Northern California, Stanford University, a 2-time national champion, a 2-time MVP, 71 open wins, and the goddess of the beach, Carrie Walsh Jennings. And a partner, ladies and gentlemen, at a Long Beach State University, a 2-time NCAA Player of the Year, 1998 national champion, 74 open wins, the winningest of all time, ladies and gentlemen, the 2-time reigning MVP of the AVP is Misty May Trainer. If you're not ready, ladies and gentlemen, you're dead.
It is indeed the matchup that most times everyone wants to see. Elaine Youngs, Nicole Branagh against none other than Carrie Walsh and Misty May. Time now to navigate the match brought to you by Nautica. And with that, we welcome in Holly McGee.
This has been a very windy weekend, and Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs have been bombing their serves. But what they need to do against Carrie and Misty are run down the shots. Misty moves the ball around the court really well, and that gives Nicole and EY a hard time. Misty and Carrie need to make the tall girls move on defense. EY and Nicole are known for their block, but not running down shots. Misty May and Carrie Walsh need to serve the ball better. Make them make errors. Serve short, deep, switch it up to EY and Nicole, so a variety of serves will help them out.
In the finals, once again, Misty and Carrie, our rules once again on the AVP Croc Store. It's always best 2 out of 3 games. First 2 games to 21 points. Third game, if needed, to 15. Rally scoring is in effect. The point is earned on every play, and you must win each game by 2 points. Mike Goldberg, St. John Smith, Holly McGee, Chris McGee. Championship court here inside the beautiful stadium, just outside the St. Pete Times Forum in downtown Tampa, Florida. Misty May Trainer, 74 career wins, will serve to get us started. Short serve to Elaine Youngs. Big finish by EY. Holly, Nicole Branagh, Elaine Youngs got to the championship this way. Our Bud Light recap.
Well, first round they beat the new team of Jenny Kropp from Nebraska and Jen Pavlian 2. Dodd Manillo forfeited with Manillo with a quad strain. Beat Turner Wacholder in a 3-game battle that could have gone either way. And played really well on the outside court, beating Denekashe Fontana in 2.
Wow, that was a rout in 2.
Yeah. Denekashe and Fontana have been outstanding this year. Final fours all over the place. Big swing and a point for Carrie Walsh, and this is how Misty and Carrie got their way here.
Well, first round, Misty and Carrie, you're not going to see it, but they had a bye. Then they defeated the Lindquist sisters pretty easily. They came back on Saturday, went through Davis and Jordan, got through Denekashe, and then they had to come back and beat again Davis and Jordan, who gave them a really, really tough match in the semifinals.
Triple J, Jenny Johnson-Jordan, and Annette Davis in their first Final Four of the season. Strong serve by Carrie Walsh, deep hit by Elaine Youngs, and with that first appearance in the Final Four this year, the long-standing team of Davis and Johnson-Jordan get their best finish of this 2007 season. As I said, Denekashe and Fontana have been outstanding. Turner and Wacholder, they've been in some finals this year. They fall to 5th place. Holly McPeak, Logan Tom were in the finals 1 week ago. They finish in 5th. And the team of Boss Ross, Lewis, and Priscilla Lima were discontinued in the tournament 1 night ago, but still good showings in that regard.
Now, Holly, you had a little problem in one of your matches. You were all taped up in one of your legs. What happened?
Well, first round, Logan and I had a little bit of a collision. So just suffered a hematoma in the left leg, but I'll be okay. Just muscle.
Hematoma, that's a bruise. Okay.
A very deep, bad bruise, yes.
Which was it, a hematoma or a bruise? I'm confused.
Both.
You got to go with bruise and not hematoma. We're dealing with cinch here.
There you go. Thank you.
3-2 our early score. Misty May, Carrie Walsh. They have battled over the last few years with Elaine Youngs and her multiple partners. This year, Nicole Branagh. Last year, Nicole for the end of the season. And, of course, longtime nemesis, Rachel Wacholder and Elaine Youngs. They're really the only team to have been able to beat May and Walsh with any consistency the last few seasons.
Look at this. Great angled hit by Elaine. She gets up, she looks like she's going to hit the middle of the court, and then she turns her body, critical sharp angle, and hammers that ball. Not many people can hit that ball right there.
Good serve. As a tandem, Nicole and EY can bring the serve as well as anyone, if not better than anyone on tour. The visor's gone. And so's the point. Point goes to Branagh and Youngs, and they lead early here in game 1, 4-3. Look at the effort by one of the top players in the world. 6 feet of sunshine, Carrie Walsh, her partner Misty May. In the finals again, trying to just reach out with that long right arm and capture everything.
The AVP Crocs Store Tampa Open is being brought to you by Esurance, online auto insurance. By refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Crocs, play hard, live comfortably. And by Gatorade, it's in the AVP, isn't it you?
Beautiful Sunday here in Tampa, Florida. Mike Goldberg, St. Smith. Glad once again to be with you here on the AVP Crocs Tour. They did not win the first tournament of the year, but Misty May and Carrie Walsh have reigned supreme every time since then, and they're starting to separate themselves a little bit from the rest of the tour.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, they're both such great athletes. They complement each other very well, blocking, digging, passing. They do everything, but they got to watch out. It's lonely at the top. Everybody will gang up on you and figure out a way to try and beat you, so you cannot let up at any point.
And I don't think anyone likes to defeat Misty May and Carrie Walsh more than Elaine Youngs, or perhaps more than our partner up in the booth again today, Holly McPeak. But EY and Nicole have been a bit inconsistent because you expect them to always be there, and even though they're always around it, they haven't been in the finals the last few weeks. What have they done differently this weekend?
Well, this weekend they've been controlling the ball in the wind. We've had very windy conditions. They've been bombing their serves and putting pressure on their opponents. But one thing they've been doing really well is passing and setting low in the wind. That type of a low wind game is very beneficial to them and can help them today.
Well, perfect point that transitions us right down to Chris McGee on the sand. The wind a factor all weekend, Geeter.
Yeah, the wind has definitely been a factor. It's blowing from left to right. The right has definitely been the good side. Now, during the tournament, though, players have complained that the wind will switch directions in the middle of the game, so you're always chasing the good side. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, during Tropical Storm Barry, we were starting to think, you know what, if your city had a drought, just call the AVP. But you know what? As usual, we weathered the storm, and we're not just back, we're better. If you take a look at the Solar Safe Weather Conditions Report, the air temperature is perfect. 88 degrees. The sand temp, 76 degrees. 8 degrees on the UV index, so protect yourself from the sun. Guys, Holly, Sinj, and Goldie, perfect conditions, I'd say. Back to you guys.
Absolutely right, and take a look at what would be the good side and bad side, at least as the wind conditions are right now. Good side, working your way into the wind so you can hammer those serves, is Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs like to do, and do as well as anybody.
And they've got to take advantage. They're on the good side. It's the beginning of the match. They got to set the tone right now.
4-3. Service deep.
That's not the tone they want to set.
One of the interesting things, May and Walsh have started going after EY, and EY and Nicole have kind of mixed it up. So let's see if they stay on EY here.
Good.
Holly, when Elaine Youngs was partnered with Rachel Walkholder, she's a much smaller player, so it was almost a no-brainer. No disrespect to Rachel, you went after Rachel, but with Nicole and EY as teammates, it's almost pick your poison, isn't it?
Well, they're both big hitters, big blockers. You just have to get someone who's not passing as well and who's kind of struggling with their side out. That's one of the strengths that EY likes about their team.
Two of the finest and most dominant athletes on tour. Youngs and Branagh, a 7th place finish, their most disappointing finish of the season 1 event ago in Louisville. Champs in Miami, 2nd in Dallas, 2nd in Huntington Beach, but then a 5th, a 3rd, and a 7th. Doesn't make him happy at all. Here's Branagh. Oh, what a dig! But Carrie Walsh could not do anything with it. Great effort by Misty May.
6-5.
Well, Misty read that very well. She got the tip off the block, got it up to the net, but the ball blew away from Carrie, and she couldn't control it.
Hey, one now, partner.
How difficult has the wind been this weekend, Holly?
Well, it's been kind of swirly. It's actually going from the side that carries on towards the stage, which is towards us. So really, Carrie Walsh is in the tough corner to side out, but there she does a nice job of reaching high and hitting the ball quick.
And the wind, you're a little bit protected in here, but the wind is still definitely affecting the game. But outside, what was it like to play like without the protection of the stadium?
Well, outside it was swirling every which way, but there was definitely a good side and a bad side, and you had to capitalize on the good side.
Tied at 6. Nicole Branagh, the superstar from the University of Minnesota. What a point! Still alive! Here's Walsh. And she missed it.
How do you feel?
How good was that?
Great rally by both teams.
7-6.
Nicole goes sharp angle off the block of Carrie Walsh. Misty May lays out, pops it up. Again, another great dig. It's able to put them in trouble. And then Carrie Walsh goes to hit this ball. This is her new favorite shot. Over line and just misses it just wide. tough to score points from the bad side this weekend.
And how frustrating is that? You put off a great effort, and then the point ends on an unforced error.
Come on, right here.
Branagh in perfect position. Branagh with the hammer.
Branagh with heat from the left side.
I'll tell you what, I was impressed with the serve. First of all, she hammered it, and then she went up, banged the ball even harder on the spike.
Nicole Branagh. She left Minnesota as the all-time Big Ten career leader in kills, and you can see why. Hey, volleyball fans, log on to esurance.com/beach for the chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the season-ending AVP Croc Store event in San Francisco, compliments of Esurance. Vote on the AVP Esurance Photo of the Year, and you will be entered into a sweepstakes to win VIP treatment at the event. One lucky fan will receive 2 round-trip airline tickets from Tampa, 2 nights accommodations at the San Francisco Hilton Garden Inn, and 2 VIP passes to the AVP Croc Store event. Visit esurance.com/beach for official rules and your chance to enter. One of the many new stops on the tour this year, San Francisco, and for the first time ever, we are here in downtown Tampa, Florida. Nicole Branagh looking for her 2nd career win. Her first was the opening event of this season in Miami, which is the only time, Holly, the team of Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs has defeated Misty May and Carrie Walsh head-to-head. That was in the semifinals in Miami.
Well, EY and Nicole are a very aggressive, strong-hitting team. When they pass well and run that quick offense, they're both big hitters and can put another team in a lot of trouble. They're able to move Walsh around, and they have a lot of range to hit around her.
7-1 in the all-time series. May Walsh lead.
This is a nice high swing. Walsh is kind of staying middle, and Nicole Branagh is able to turn it right past her.
Actually, here.
In fact, Branagh's 1-0 against May Walsh in the state of Florida, but 0-16 in all the other states, so she likes being here in the Sunshine State.
Dee, which hand is it? Dee, which one is it?
9-7 Branagh Youngs.
Come on.
Good serve.
Easy, come on. No one. Go. Wait. Down.
Here's Misty May. Well off the net, and she makes no mistake.
Misty May, cross court is good.
Well, Misty and Carrie are going to be better when they have a free ball, a broken play, when the set isn't good or the pass isn't good. They've just got great ball control. And here Misty puts the ball off the net, sharp cross court down for the point. Here it is. She gets up. It's not that close of a set, but she has a nice snap, a nice reach, nice snap, cross court, barely clears the net. And Nicole is not really near that one.
Misty May, 5th on the tour throughout this season in kills per game. Nicole Branagh is the leader on the women's side.
Now, if Nicole can continue to do that, we know she has the power. Her finesse is not really the best part of the game, but she sure makes a great shot on this set. Takes a nice shot sharp cross court.
There you see the stats in the Sunshine State for Nicole Branagh.
You want?
Branagh in perfect position. Here's Carrie Walsh.
Right here. Low. In line.
Branagh seems to be circling and hitting on all circuits right now.
She is. You know, I asked EY why does she stay up at the net as opposed to Nicole, and she says, when I'm at the net, people tend to shoot more, and Nicole can dig a lot more balls, and that's why they like to stay in this position.
Nicole's been serving short, and it's given Misty some trouble.
Nicole, the bigger of the two girls at 6'2", the taller of the two girls. Elaine Youngs is 6 foot, but this is one of the tallest teams combined, the combination on tour.
There it was, Misty, another short serve to Misty, and she went ahead and she hit that ball out of bounds because on the short serve, she doesn't get back and get her normal approach.
Well, and Elaine Youngs is hanging big in her angle, so she doesn't have a lot of area to hit into.
12-8, Youngs Branagh. 13-8. A good run here by EY and Nicole.
EY.
Now, don't forget the Best Damn Sports Show period is the greatest nightly sports show on television with your hosts, Chris Rose, John Sally, Rob Dibble, and Rodney Peete. The Best Damn Sports Show period, weeknights at 11 p.m. only right here on FSN. And we are right here outside the St. Pete Times Forum, the home of the 2004 Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning.
Wow, that serve just barely missed, and there was no chance to pass that had that hit the line. That ball came very, very fast right down the line. That's probably the best serve you can serve, a jumpy straight down the line.
You know, the Lightning Engine, our fine organization, who defeated Calgary that year.
Drops out.
That's
Good
not
serve.
easy to do.
It's the back line
An ace
for
from the bad
10-13,
sign on the
ace
back
serve.
line. Elaine Youngs thought that the wind would blow it long, but it didn't.
Was that skill or was that fortunate, Holly?
Well, Misty May, so let's say.
Good point. Good
Let's say
point.
skill.
There you go. Very nicely done. Big hammer by EY. Through the block of Carrie Walsh, 14-10.
Misty nor Carrie are getting EY or Nicole in any trouble. They're passing the ball nice and low to the net. They're running their quick offense. They're big hitters. They're having a lot of success with this offense.
Elaine Youngs to serve. Elaine, 37 years old, 4-time All-American at UCLA, the 2002 AVP MVP.
Wow.
And the winner by Walsh.
What a great hit. That's a tough hit. Not very close to net. Nice, sharp cross-court hit.
In fact, the AVP MVPs of the last 5 years are on championship court here because Youngs won it in 02, Walsh won it in 03 and 04, and Misty May Trainer has won it the past 2 seasons. Nicole Branagh, former Rookie of the Year. And that one not her best swing.
A little of their own medicine.
14.
You know, Carrie Walsh, smart serve by her. She saw that Misty was struggling with the short serve and said, hey, I'm going to try that on Nicole. And it worked.
Let's go.
I'm surprised more people don't use that serve. It takes the big hitters out of their normal approach, forces them to do something different.
Line, flat out.
It was 14-10. Now all of a sudden it's 14-13. May Walsh trying to get right back into this game.
And that was a deep serve after the short serve. A pretty smart thing, especially with the wind. Throw it up in the air, serve it deep, have the passer back up and try to get all the way to that. Now Nicole switched sides.
And this happening from the bad side with the wind at their back, Holly.
Line.
Can Youngs finish? Nope. Misty May just wide.
And I think that was the wind just blowing it a little bit out of Misty's wheelhouse, and she just missed it.
But still, May Walsh are right back in this game one. They trail 15-13. Chicago 2002 marked the last time an AVP team event was won by a team that didn't include either May Trainer, Walsh, or Youngs on the winning side. That's when Annette Davis and Jenny Johnson-Jordan were victorious. And a team that is always a difficult matchup for May and Walsh. Triple J is downstairs in the Crocs Lounge with Chris McGee.
Thanks, Goldie. Just chilling in the Crocs Lounge. Triple J, Jenny Johnson, Jordan. You guys are one of the teams that always give Misty May and Carrie Walsh a tough time. Why is that? What do you do that exploits some of the stuff that, you know, are their weaknesses?
I feel like we match up well with them. I mean, they're two aggressive hitting players, and you can't go in there shooting with them. So I think because we try to play aggressive and attack them with our attack, that we match up well with them.
Is it also that you've beaten them before and you're confident, so you go in there with a different attitude than maybe some people do?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that pressure to beat them like maybe a lot of other teams have, but also, too, you know, when you play against them, you have to go in loose. I mean, everyone expects them to win, so you just have to go, I have nothing to lose, and just bust my butt out there and, you know, hope for the best.
You guys are coming off a third-place finish, and it's been a rough start for you, and that everyone expects you guys to be in the Final Four every weekend, so did it feel good to be back in this position?
It felt really good. I feel like we've been playing good volleyball, just not consistently. And so I feel like this weekend and last weekend we're finally starting to play that consistent volleyball and kind of get our groove back and get back in the race.
What has it been? Because, you know, a lot of talk on the men's side is Lambeau and Stein haven't been as consistent. You know, and we've played in some crazy weather with wind. Like, what has it been for you and Annette that you guys have struggled with?
I think for us, really, it is consistency. I mean, we play great in one match, and then we just stink it up in the next. And, you know, you can't do it. This tour is much deeper, especially on the women's side. You know, we've got a lot of great teams, and, you know, you can lose at any point. So you got to be consistent.
Misty May with a little poke shot down the line, 15-15. Now, Misty and Carrie, we're down a little bit here in the game. Nicole and EY in control, but one thing about this team, Jenny, is you can never count them out. They're always going to make a run.
Never. I mean, we were up 5-2 against them, 9-5 against them, and they still came back. They just don't make a lot of errors, and you can't make errors against them.
Now, talk about you and Nettie, the relationship you guys have. You guys have been together for a long, long time. When you go through the hard times and the adversity, has there ever been a talk of we're playing with someone else? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like you guys have always stuck together.
Never. And I mean, I'm sure there was a little buzz at the beginning, you know, this season about that, but there's no way. We're sticking together. We're great friends. We know we can play good volleyball together, and it's just a matter of us finding that sweet spot again.
And you're also both mothers of two, so you got to balance that out.
Exactly. And we can understand that about each other, and, you know, we miss our kids at times, and we can talk about that with each other, and the other one understands, so that part of our relationship's great.
All right, back to you guys. Holly, St. John, Goldie. I know, Holly, you know this from personal experience. Jenny and Annette, two of the classiest players out here on tour as well.
Well, they're Bruins, aren't they?
They are. They're just great people. Great people, great competitors. Great to see them back in the Final Four.
Enough with the Bruins. Let's talk about the Redskins or something. The
Yeah,
Miami
right.
Redskins. 8-2 run for Misty May Trainer and Carrie Walsh to take the lead. 16-15. They had trailed 13-8. And you know what? They're forcing errors by Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh.
Well, you know what they're also doing, Carrie and Misty are now shooting the ball. They're moving the ball around on offense, forcing Elaine and Nicole to run down balls, which is not the best part of their game. They're big blockers, they're good diggers if the ball is hit near them, but when it comes to running all the way across the court, it just isn't their strength.
And Holly, what Misty and Carrie did was start to score some points on the bad side and then move over to the good side and do exactly what you need to do on the good side, and that is try to dominate.
Exactly. They put themselves in a good position, switching to the bad side and capitalizing on good digging. They're serving the ball well, putting Nicole and EY in trouble, and that's what they need to do from the good side.
So 16-15 as the best women's team of all time with 68 domestic and international team wins in their 101st tournament together. Misty May and Carrie Walsh look for another one this year. These are the two teams that have won all of the tournaments so far this season.
Wow, that block was awfully close to the line. I mean, looking from here, it almost looked like it hit the line. Here it is. Big jump, big hit. And Carrie reaches over, gets that ball, hits the net. Now let's see if it hits that line. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to tell.
Well, it might have just been outside.
Looks like it just missed it. Very close.
Very close.
Now, they had to stop the bleeding there, did Branagh and Youngs. 16-16, still anybody's game one. On two, and EY was there with the roof.
It wasn't a bad idea to pass that ball up on two because Elaine was coming from the back court to get up to the net to block, but she got there in time reaches over and just roofs Carrie Walsh.
Well, that's not a play that Carrie Walsh normally does, and she's not as comfortable in that position. And EY sat there right on the ball with a great block.
Here's Branagh. Big swing, better dig. Youngs with the hammer through the block of Walsh. And it's a 2-point lead for Branagh Youngs.
18-16.
Those are 2 big points for Branagh Young, scoring from the bad side.
Won the Miami Open in April, the first event of the season. They defeated Mae Walsh in the semifinals to set themselves up for that victory. Just finding the corner, Misty May. 18-17. Switch sides on the 7th.
And Nicole and Elaine will now go to the good side, and they got to take advantage. They got to do something special on that good side. They got a first side out, but then they got to really put the pressure on with the serve. They've got to win this first game.
Nicole Branagh kind of bummed her ankle out in Dallas. She played in the finals in Dallas with her ankle taped and pretty much trying to keep it not only protected but supported and hoping it won't get messed up again. But she's always kind of battled with that, at least this year, and that's no fun for a great athlete like Nicole Branagh to be on one bad wheel. 18-17. Oh my.
Well, it looked like Elaine was kind of playing the middle of the court, and then the serve went to the middle of the court between Nicole and Elaine, and there was a little bit of a misunderstanding of who was going to pass that ball.
Well, Elaine likes to take a lot of the court and help Nicole out. Even though they're on the good side, the wind is still blowing the ball a little bit away from Nicole. So Elaine's taking a whole lot of court. So that middle is still a little iffy because EY's already way over there.
Branagh tries to adjust to the set. Branagh, but Walsh was there. The roof by Carrie Walsh, 19-18.
Now Nicole digs the easy cut shot by Misty May, but wow, Carrie Walsh is big and over the net. This is a great form on her blocking.
Nice
big point.
Nice timing to get a block right now at this point of the game.
Good.
Carrie Walsh, the leader on the tour, in blocks.
Go.
Misty May at the net. She gets her hands on it. Almost kept alive. Outstanding effort by the 6'3" Walsh. Tied at 19.
Big side out coming up. Well, Misty May deflects this block and this ball goes short. Carrie Walsh extends as far as she can to pop this ball up, and it just goes a little too wide for Misty.
Come on,
2019 game point. Take them any way you can. Little net court help there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Elaine back up on that block. It wasn't a great set. She did the right thing, but that ball just dribbled between Nicole and Elaine, and nobody went for it.
The 35th straight event that Mae Walsh have been the top seed. Looking for their 44th AVP win as teammates. Good game one, 2019, game point number 1. And it's out. Just deep. Game 1 goes to Mae Walsh. 21-19. What a women's final we have here on the AVP Crocs Tour from Tampa. 10 ties, 5 lead changes in game 1 of our women's final. Here from Tampa, Florida, Misty May, 7 kills, 13 digs. And Carrie and Misty had 2 aces, no aces for Nicole and EY. Elaine Youngs, Nicole Branagh in their 5th Final Four of this 2007 season. And in the championship for the 4th time.
I think Branagh and Youngs are like, hey, we let that one get away. We controlled that whole game. So I think they're going to come out super aggressive. I mean, they know they're playing right with them. I think they controlled game 1. They just let it get away at the end.
Well, that's typical of Misty and Carrie, though. They stay with you, and then at the end, they just turn it up a little bit. And I don't care who you are, it's hard to stop them when you get towards the end of any game.
Carrie Walsh was 71 career wins. Misty May was 74. Carrie trying to pull into a tie for number 2 with none other than Holly McPeak at 72 career victories. And the first point goes to May Walsh.
Good idea, but Carrie just missed it. She blocked the ball, tried to poke it back deep, but just missed it out of bounds.
Well, Carrie Walsh is doing a good job touching a lot of balls at the net, and Misty May is able to control them. On that one, she controlled it to herself, and with the wind at her back, just hit it a little too long.
You know, I think actually Carrie Walsh is trying to touch too many balls. I think she should stay with taking her area if the ball's off the net, and let Misty dig. Misty can dig their hardest spike.
Come on, turn! No. I got you, middle. Bingo!
The winner by Carrie Walsh.
I think just the fact that Carrie Walsh is touching balls at the net, it makes the hitter think about it, and then that's going to channel more balls to Misty. So I think it works both ways, but Walsh had a big block to end game 1 or to get match point or game point at the end of game 1.
Good. Go, touch.
And the point for Misty May.
That's what I'm talking about. She's touching everything, and the hitter's getting more and more tentative, and that's something you don't want EY and Nicole to do. Right here, she spreads her left hand wide and is able to pop this ball up perfect for Misty May. Great play by Carrie Walsh to set Misty May on that play.
57 straight AVP Opens on the women's side have been won by either the 1st or 2nd seed. The number 1 seed, the majority of the time, of course, Misty May and Carrie Walsh. That number 2 seed that would win on occasion was Elaine Youngs and Rachel Walkholder. But this one could be captured by the 3 seed of Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh, which would be the first time in a long time. Walsh and May have been the number 1 seed for many years in every tournament. 35 straight tournaments.
That serve just barely out of bounds, and they have to go for it. But you know what? You can't keep missing that serve. You've got to get that ball in the court. If you're on the good side, you really got to take advantage.
Been the top seed for every event since the start of the 2005 season. May serves 4-2. Youngs with the touch. She gets the roll. Walsh keeps it alive. At the net, the battle. Branagh with a big swing in the point. 4-3.
Branagh delivers.
Not sure why she had open net, but you can't give anybody on this court open net. Otherwise, they're going to destroy it just like that.
They continue to battle, but can they bring down the Giant? Well, with consistent wins once again here on the women's side of the AVP Crocs Tour, the leaders in the 2007 Crocs Cup standings, not surprisingly, the team of May trainer Walsh, and then Branagh Youngs, as I said, up and down, third seed for this one, but indeed they are number 2 in the standings. Tyra Turner and Rachel Walkholder put together a fine year, and Denekishe and Fontana becoming regulars in the Final Four on the women's side in the quest for the Crocs Cup. Center court, outside of the St. Pete Times Forum. Weather was less than pleasurable for the first couple of days, but a perfect Sunday for our final round and our championship matchup. And Carrie Walsh with the point.
And she controlled the ball over the block, making Nicole move around. Hey, Holly, how was Club V? 20 volleyball courts?
It was pretty amazing, and they're hungry to learn beach volleyball. It was a lot of fun. Did a clinic for about 40 women and girls, and just love beach volleyball, and they were so eager to learn. It was a lot of fun.
I've never seen a place like that. 20 courts available to the public. It's awesome.
Karch Garai, who was in the men's final this weekend, said he had given the clinic along with you, Holly. He said some of the players that were in the clinic came out the next day and they were on the outside courts with him, and he'd make a great receive, he'd make a great set, he'd make a great pass, and he'd go, solid base, good solid base, Karch. All the principles that he talked about, the young kids were like, solid base, good one up on the hit, solid base. So he got a big kick out of the people so enthusiastic to support him on the outside courts.
Always helps to have your little fan base.
Absolutely. And they were listening to Karch's tips. Short serve to May.
Come on!
That shot is her bread and butter.
Well, it really is. It opens everything up for her, because if you have to honor her over line shot, she hits it nice and high and fast over the block, and she has a great cut, and she can hit the ball. So you kind of have to hold, hoping that she makes an error on one.
That serve messed up EY and Nicole a little bit. So the winner for May Walsh.
Yeah, uncharacteristic passing there by Elaine. She's a great passer, and she just missed that pass. It went off one arm more than the other, and Nicole stretched out and couldn't control it.
So third ace for the team of Carrie and Misty. Nicole and EY have yet to have an ace in the matchup. They do have 4 service errors, though. Short serve to Branagh that time. Perfectly placed by Elaine Young.
Little pokey back over the block, back to the line. Nice little, looks like she's going to spike it, and then she keeps it up, and she uses her knuckles to bring that ball back to the line.
She does that better than anybody out here.
Branagh got her hands on it. And Misty found the angle. 8-6 May Walsh.
Well, that's all set up by her great line shot. Because she did that earlier, Nicole had to think about it, and then her cut shot dropped.
Over there, the hottest place to play. We appreciate them.
Well, don't forget Sports Ultimate Nightly Highlight Show is here. The FSN Final Score. Every great highlight, every unforgettable moment, every night on FSN. It's the only national show that gives you nothing but wall-to-wall highlights. The FSN Final Score. Every night only on FSN. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. Looking for their 6th title of the year, and this is the 7th event of the season. May Walsh looking for their 2nd title of the year. Young's Branagh. Walsh at the net. Youngs will take a swing at it off the hand of Carrie Walsh, and it's 8-7.
Off the hands to the tape.
Nice cross-court hit by Elaine, just barely catching the outside of the line. It had to be a perfect hit because Carrie Walsh was up at the net, hungry for the block, and no, inside the block, and then barely catches the line.
36 career wins for Elaine Youngs. 37 years old in her 11th season on the beach. Perfectly placed again by Misty May.
That's so nice. Misty's in a bad corner, siding out. She kind of tweaks her pass. Carrie Walsh controls it really well, but Misty stayed behind it and with a great hand put it deep down the line. It's a great shot by Misty May.
Wow. She got there. And the crowd applauds. It's all about effort. Win or lose, and most of the time they win. But you'll never see a lack of effort from Mae Walsh.
Well, it was a missed pass first by Elaine, I think it was, and it went over the net. Well, here's the big sprint by Carrie Walsh. I don't think anyone could have got it besides her, stretching out 8 feet long. Comes back for more. And that ball came over the net unexpectedly. Kept it in play, but then nobody's at the net to block. Elaine says, thank you. Oh, wait, backing up. Boom. You got to stay up at the net when Elaine's hitting that ball.
Young's 8-50, 5-0 against Mae trainer Walsh since the start of 2003. Misty Mae saw the retreat was on for Branagh and Youngs and took advantage of it.
Misty Mae's making some clutch side outs. Again, the wind is at her back. She's about 4 feet off the net, and she's able to drop the ball short in front of Nicole, and that's not easy to do.
That's the most difficult side to hit on, that right side when the ball's blowing away from you, and it's very difficult because you have to run underneath and anticipate where the ball's going to end up by the time you get to it.
Branagh. Nicole Branagh finds the line. Another good game. Remember, this was closely contested in game one, guys. In fact, Branagh Youngs led 14-10 in game one before they ended up losing 21-19. This one's close as well, 10-9 game two. Good competitive women's final here in our 7th stop of the season. Walsh with the hammer.
What a hit.
Good angle.
Oh, my goodness. Dropped him on about the 4-foot line. Look at this. Up. It looks like she's hitting maybe, cross court a little bit. And then at the last moment, turns her wrist in her hand and cranks that ball on the sharpest angle I've seen this tournament.
Elaine Youngs just missed. So they'll switch sides. It's 12-9 Mae Walsh. And while we have a moment, Chris McGee down on the sand with Elaine Youngs.
Elaine, I know you're not happy about that last there, but you guys are hanging in there. I see you every single play. You got that urgency, and I know you're urging Nicole along. You're right there.
Yeah, we're right there. We gave him the first set, I feel like. We handed it to him. I just wanted to compete. I blew it on that one. We wanted that 10-11 switch. It's my fault. I'm mad at myself.
Hey, I feel like you guys are bombing your serve. They're just passing the ball pretty well, but sooner or later you're going to get that ace.
Yeah, they're passing it well. We've got them in trouble with the shorts. We might continue that a little bit. But we still got a chance here.
Absolutely you do. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, CY. Well, there you have it. Elaine Youngs, Nicole Branagh trying to climb back in. Down by 3 at the Tampa Bay Open.
oh, how the AVP Crocs Tour has grown under the leadership of our commissioner, Leonard Armato, who came onto the scene in 2001, rejuvenated the tour, and has just escalated its prominence in the last many years, St. John.
Well, if people haven't been around and seen the transition of the sport to really developing into a professional sport back in the early to mid 80s, actually at the helm, Leonard Armato bringing and developing the professional side of the sport, taking it across the country, and then in 1990 the AVP failed to rehire him, and then throughout the 90s they wrote off his success, and then absolutely the sport was gone at the end of the 90s, and Leonard saw an opportunity to come back and rebuild the sport, and has done a tremendous job. Basically in 2001, if Leonard wasn't there, the players would be back on their local beaches playing in front of about 50 people without any money, any TV, any sponsors, but thank God he came back and has brought the men and women together and has built the sport back up.
Holly, a standout point guard at Pacific in the 70s and a longtime sports agent. Obviously, you're very close with Leonard, but what did he instill in the players to make you as marketable as all of our players on the tour have become?
Well, I think Leonard's passionate about the sport. He knows that we have athletes who are very intelligent, very approachable. Fans want to be able to talk to the athletes and get to know them. And that's one of the wonderful things about beach volleyball. We're very approachable. It's an interactive environment, and that's what he's created. He's created an arena where we have the best men's and women's volleyball players in the country, and it's wonderful. It's great for the fans, and it's great for everybody.
Led by Crocs. I mean, you just look at this stadium court from Crocs to our friends at Cuervo to Nautica to Hilton and Bud Light and Xbox 360. There's so many sponsors, which are premium businesses as well, that believe in the sport of beach volleyball. And of course, the exposure in the late 90s of the Olympic Games, it took a little while to get back to a regular occurrence on the beach, certainly helped out the prominence, led the way really in the last Olympic Games by Misty May and Carrie Walsh. So the tour continues to grow, but they tell us all it is far from finished. 18 events this season, the most in a long, long time. Point goes to Branagh Young.
I like to compare our sport to tennis, kind of, except that our sport is a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd is more involved. The players are you know, you look at them. I mean, you see all of them. They're not hiding anything. They have emotion. They have everything. And we have a great arena setting. It's just, I don't see why we can't surpass tennis in the years to come.
Nice! No!
Just missing on the angle, Nicole Branagh. 15-11 May Walsh.
That was a great drop defensively. A fake block by Elaine Youngs dropping into the line. Nicole Branagh ran down the cut shot of Misty May. That's not an easy dig, but she could not transition. Hit it a little wide, but a great defensive play by them.
15-11. That's tight and problematic is the result of that.
Well, it starts with a bad pass, and then the set was too close. Nicole couldn't get to it.
So a timeout called by Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh, watching another one slip away.
This pass is a little too low. Nicole Branagh cannot get to the set. The ball is blowing away from her and tight into the net. Carrie Walsh is just waiting to block that ball.
Elaine Young's just talking to Chris McGee, talked about how they're competing, they're right in it. They were up in game one, 14-10. This one was pretty even. She wanted the 11-10, obviously, on the last switch. But now, since that point, since the last stoppage, Holly, we haven't seen a single point, just 1 point, pardon me, scored by Branagh Youngs. May Walsh going on another run.
We haven't. You know, Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh are not here with their coach this week, and their coach, who's here every weekend with them, is taking a break, but actually called them and left them a 20-minute phone message telling them what to do in the finals. So she's been watching on the Mosaic on AVP.com, you know, scouting other matches, and she's still coaching from afar. So hopefully Nicole and Ewa are discussing what Liz told them before the match and are going to put that into effect so they can come back in this game.
Well, during this break, Nicole took a nice wet cold towel, wrung it out on top of her body, and put the towel around her neck to try and cool down. It is hot out there. It's very hot, difficult to play these conditions. Even though Geeter said it was perfect, when you get into the high 80s, it takes something out of you.
6-2 run for Mae Walsh, Liz Mazakayan, the head coach of Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh that Holly was talking about, one of the finest players in the history of the beach. And knowing Liz as we do, her leaving a 20-minute message is not that big of a surprise. She has that uncanny ability. 16-11. Branagh with a big swing. Walsh with the roof.
That is Carrie Walsh.
I'm going to ask the question, but I know the answer. I mean, Carrie and Misty turn it on. How do they do it every time at the end of the game? They come up with blocks. They come up with digs. They know when and how to do it. The end of the game is so important. And there goes Nicole back over to her original side. They switched when she had trouble before. Now they're switching back because there's a little bit of trouble.
Well, we said right at the top of the show, Sinjin, that as competitive as this tour is, still Mae Walsh is starting to separate themselves from the masses. 21-19 is a great game, but now you got yourself in a position where it's 17-12, and you may not exactly run away with another one, but it'll at least be a short little sprint.
Well, Walsh and Mae wear you down. You know, if Carrie Walsh doesn't start out with blocks, she kind of starts to get into her groove as the match goes on, and she's had, you know, a significant amount of blocks for this final.
17-12, big serve by Nicole Branagh. Handled neatly, finished perfectly by Carrie Walsh.
I'll tell you what was very interesting about that play. That pass was over to the middle. The set was over to the middle, so it messes up the blocking and digging on the other side of the court, because normally they're splitting up the court. But when the set is in a different place, it throws them off.
There's the Nicole Branagh we saw early on.
Well, that's two good high swings off Carrie Walsh's hands. That's a good high aggressive swing. You can't sizzle it by her. You got to use her hands high or avoid her.
Well, the way that Branagh and Youngs came out in game one, you almost had that feeling it was upset Sunday, but Walsh and Mae love to compete. They love to win, and they're very close to winning again. Serve finds the corner. First ace for the team of Youngs and Branagh here in the championship.
No, the way Elaine and Nicole were playing in the beginning of that first game, yes, they were in control. And she said it, we gave it away. They made mistakes. Carrie Misty started to play better, of course, but they were in control, and they gave it away.
And another point. Not quite over yet. 18-15. Just when you think you're going to make a comeback, Misty Mae goes to her bread and butter.
Well, they just got a point off an ace and a point off Carrie Walsh. I believe when you score a point off somebody, go back at them. But Elaine Youngs is going aggressive with her serve, and that's okay. But Misty Mae is able to side out off that ball.
19-15, Misty to serve. Trouble.
Starts with that pass. If you don't get a good pass, you're not going to get a good set. Then it's going to be very difficult.
As a unit,
That's what happened.
Carrie Walsh looking for career win number 72. Misty Mae career win number 75. And Mae Walsh looking for another win this season. It is game, match, championship point. The floater to Youngs. And it's all over! Misty Mae and Carrie Walsh win again. 21-19, 21-15 for their 6th title of the season. Misty Mae and Carrie Walsh defeat Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. We will be back to hear from our champions when we continue our coverage of the AVP Crocs Tour.